That is all of our good OCs. We're going to now move on to bad OCs. Going back in the same order we presented in and going through this.
This is Ivy League. She... Initially in her life, she was all, intellect, spell books, magic, knowledge, and everyone else is all like, oh, she's gonna be a great scientist or magician or theorist or physicist.
Words.
Something along those lines, included with people think of really, really, really smart. And people that go to Ivy League schools.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, God.
As she was going through her life with that, she just kind of didn't feel it. She was good at magic and stuff like that, and she was good at everything that people were saying she was going to dedicate her life to, but she just didn't feel it. Her parents' mother was a designer and father was an architect, so they did visual things, not incredible, friggin' super smart.
They weren't a bunch of nerds.
But they were still supportive of her. And they were like, yeah, you can do thing. But she was like, but I don't feel thing. But I don't feel it.
I don't feel it.
So partway through, she just switched majors over to theater for just because. Just because... And everyone was like, oh, excuse me? Whoa there.
Whoa,
she was
there,
actually she was freaking absolute natural at acting. So that was nice. She did quite a few plays in college, and her first one is actually where she got her cutie mark from. Things were... going perfectly fine, and then right before the curtain was going to go up, a harness broke. So there was absolutely no time to fix it, because the curtain was, So, her face probably resembled, that scared icon below.
Yeah, I was scared.
Which, by the way, we'll talk about those in a second. Goodness. So she used her magic stuff, and instead of harness flying, she flew with magic. Because
I can.
Because you can. So, and she started off just with the musical just like nothing had gone wrong, and everything went perfectly fine, and at some point during that, I think it was stated as the last part of that song when she was holding the note or something like that. Or maybe that's just how my mind remembers it, because that would probably be the penultimate or the ultimate moment to do it, because that would be sort of thing that people would do. Climactic moment!
Breathe.
And then all of a sudden her cutie mark appears. And it is the thing in the top right corner of the screen, which is the comedy and tragedy masks of drama and theater over a spellbook with little magic lines around them to signify her adeptness for both theater and magic,
and the combination of both of them, because
yes.
That's the only reason that she was able to they were able to go on.
Yeah. Her personality is still in progress, but she does have a few positive and negative traits listed. Like, she's good-hearted, smart, brave, and artistic, but she's also bitter, opinionated, hot-headed, and sarcastic. So, you know. She likes what she does now, musicals and magic and stuff. She likes learning. She likes books. She likes winter, so that's good, and she likes to draw, because art.
In my opinion, I think that's a very well fleshed out character. Other than the actual personality side of her that seems to be, obviously not written yet, but it definitely has a lot going on, and there's definitely a story behind it. It just needs a little bit more personality, like you said.
Which, that makes me wonder, Smooth, What is the thing that you don't like about this OC?
It's unfair because the thing that puts this on... The thing that puts it here instead of good for me makes perfect sense. I just am not a fan of it.
Ah.
Because this character is very heavily an homage character. Very, very heavily an homage character, with still being her own character herself, as far as I know. For I have never seen the musical or read the book, Wicked.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more focused on being an author avatar than being an original character, which is fine. But that's just something to note. I mean, especially like the whole cutie mark not appearing to a college. I mean, that's not realistic in pony time place thing.
It was mentioned. It was mentioned that she got crap for it.
There's just a lot of things. He didn't go over it.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff here that I didn't go over, and that was one of the things, but
Okay.
you picked up on it, even though I didn't say it, which was... I was just like, oh my
yeah,
goodness,
I mean,
never
like,
that.
a full-grown mare, I was gonna say stallion, just like, full-grown a horse, I don't know what you want me to say, but a full-grown horse, I mean...
Definitely feels more like real life.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, and,
I'm going undeclared!
Yeah.
I really like the fact that this character has a lot of black in her, but it's not pure black.
It's still way too dark. That's the main reason I'm not a giant fan of her aesthetics, because that incredibly dark gray, I'm going to call it black because it's close enough in this case scenario.
I'm going to call it black with an undertone of green.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely a tinge of green, but I would agree that it is a bit dark. Those expressions, they're really great.
Those expressions, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they help solidify that the character is in theater.
Or is a real person, or a real character.
Is in theater.
As in a character.
You don't need to be good at expressions to be a character.
Can express emotions. Has diversity. Is a character.
Yeah.
Has personality.
Yes.
Can display emotions.
Yes.
Yes.
Also that Philly. The only other thing I have to say that I'm kind of about, besides, well, I guess two things. There's like a little, very, very faint discoloration on her nose in the view where she's facing the side, but I can't. I think it's there in the others as well.
It's there in the front facing.
It's just so faint in all the others. I don't know if it's like actually there.
Yeah, no, it's in the show style ones. It's definitely there. The pseudo kind of show style.
I do not feel it. I don't understand why it's there. It's just odd to me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Not a fan. Also, I'm not a fan of the cutie marks design. It's a little...
Much.
Yeah, it's a little much. Maybe just, like, one of the masks instead of both of them, and have, like sparkles around it, maybe?
Yeah, not the, tentacle...
Yeah.
Things.
Tentacles sometimes, or tendrils, sometimes can signify magic, but only in certain contexts do people actually get it. Like, oh yeah.
I thought they were just strings.
I like her general aesthetic, but not like
everything else.
It's kind of in the air. It works, but I'm not a giant fan of it. Maybe other people that, have seen or read Wicked can appreciate this more than I can. Stuff like that. I like her character generally, though. Good.
Awesome. Sweet. Moving on to the next bad OC. My bad OC this week is Snows. Or Amy Snow. This is a female teenage pony. She's 16 years old. They are from Cloudsdale, but lives in Ponyville. She doesn't have a special talent, but she does like singing, drawing, photography, and pyromancing, which is interesting. Her personality is she's nice, but has, quote, angry problems. She would keep a level head in an argument unless the other pony doesn't back down when they know they're wrong. She will get carried away and will sometimes not talk to any pony. My main problem with this story is the fact that she was born in Cloudsdale. She was a strong flyer. Her parents and older brother died. She entered flight school and then lived with her full sitter. She became very popular because she was able to fly, and then her teacher, who was a close friend to Spitfire, explains to Spitfire what Amy has been through, and apparently Spitfire and Princess Celestia decide that she needs to then live in Ponyville.
Wait.
What?
I don't... And it's like, okay, after being sent, she lives with Rainbow Dash and becomes great friends with the CMC. After a while, Twilight is teaching Amy new skills while the CMC invite her to join their club. She apparently turns down the invite, stating that she has no interest in finding her cutie mark. She begins to do small jobs for the apples and Fluttershy to earn a bit so she doesn't have to rely on Rainbow all the time. And this story is a work in progress. So these critiques that we say today could be possibly taken into heart and adapted to this character. We talked about this a little bit last week with Silverquill about how having a direct relationship with the with main character people, ponies, can be looked heavily down upon in the world of OCs. And I think this might be a case of...
a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're missing Pinkie Pie and... Rarity as a direct connection between these two. And it's just
and
a
Luna,
little much. And Luna, exactly, like last week. But I don't see the point behind living in Cloudsdale, then because she's such a good flyer and her parents have died, move her to Ponyville. Why not leave her in Cloudsdale, have her work more with the teacher who is friends with Spitfire, or perhaps show her to Spitfire and be like, hey, Spitfire, this kid's a really great flyer. And then Spitfire be like, oh, she is a great flyer. Let's have you go to the Wonderbolts Academy if you want to join the Wonderbolts. I mean, that's kind of a cliche dream or aspiration.
Or try out. Because not even freaking Savior of the World, freaking Rainbow Dash just gets in.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, it's one of these things that I'm like, I don't get why she has to be put into Ponyville, other than to, I don't want to say shoehorn, but sort of shoehorn.
I don't want to say it, but I'm going to.
But shoehorn her to be into other ponies of the main six lights.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just stinks of bad fan fiction as far as, she's lost a lot, but she's just so great that, everyone acknowledges her for it, and then she gets to be best friends with everyone, and it just seems like, calm down. So.
It's a little Mary Sue-ish.
Yeah. And
I also find it really weird that she becomes great friends with the CMC and then turns them down. Just to go off on a little bit of a tangent, it's like you're going out of your way to include that she knows and is good friends with these characters that are solely based around finding their cutie marks, and then you then take that and throw it away. It just seems a bit of an odd decision for me, but I think that even with the sort of kind of quote-unquote edgy thing with the parents and brother dying, I think that from there's potential, because I wouldn't make her super popular or anything like that, but having her be a great flyer and all that stuff, I think that can lead you into a really good story, but I would take a different turn with that.
As for the colors, this is a case of everything being way too saturated.
And dark.
Or dark.
And dark, yes. So
That hair, man.
Yeah. It's...
The eyes are kind of good.
Yeah, I like the eyes.
I do like the color of the eyes. I think that's the best feature on this pony. Keep those eyes the way they are. That color scheme and ideas behind it. But as for a deep dark navy coat, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I thought that was just slightly off black.
No, it's... I think navy. I don't want to get into it, but it's one of these things that it doesn't work. There is a couple of ponies that we've actually seen in the show that have a darker palette. There's one that was in, like...
Wonderbolt's Academy that's black, and it doesn't look all that good.
Yeah, and it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. And it's just one of these things that you gotta tone down the colors. I mean, the running joke for ponies is cute pastel ponies. So, I don't know, maybe try to make it a little bit more
Pastel
in colors. Just sit there,
Google pastel colors, and you'll see the general theme.
fiddle around with colors, try to make it work, see how that could affect you or the character.
Yes. I feel like instead of going down that thing, which if you want to keep sort of the general ideas of what you have going for the characters' colors, one thing I particularly would make note of is that you don't... I would highly stray away from having an outline that's lighter than the actual colors of your coat or your mane or anything like that, because it has a weird effect of, instead of the like mane or the coat popping, the outlines pop and the coat is pushed back into the background, which has a really weird mental effect, which sort of off-puts a lot of people, which it doesn't do... That effect doesn't happen super bad here, but it's definitely something I would be wary of.
It's just one of these things that reworking the color scheme a little bit, trying to find something that doesn't clash, like the red and the blue in the mane, is just something that you need to tweak and fiddle around with. Look up any kind of color palette program where you're able to pick palettes that work together and other ideas on how to coordinate colors together, so that way it can be maybe a contrasting, comparing, work colors that work together in some sense. That's it for this OC. Moving on to Commander's OC. Commander.
So this is Crimson Moon, nicknamed Crimson. They're a mare around the technical age of 20, so I'm just going to equate that to young adults, sort of developing mare age. Cutie mark is that it's a crimson red moon with a crimson red star over top of that. Her familial relations is that she's Rainbow Dash's sister. Description. Crimson Moon is a young black and red Pegasus pony and Rainbow Dash's younger sister. She is also really good friends with Midnight Moon, another OC of theirs. And she moved to Ponyville months after her sister Rainbow Dash, but she didn't know that her sister was there for a long time. And then after about 3 years, this part kind of confuses me, but it's like, it says about 3 years later, Midnight needs her help, and she helps to protect her from the Tyrant King Sombra. Don't know where of all of these things, that is the thing that confuses me the most, because I don't understand any connection at all, but I will touch on that a bit more in a second. But I just want to talk to there's obviously a few things staring us in the face with this OC that are a bit off-putting. One, like we mentioned,
that Crimson isn't actually in this OC anywhere. Crimson is actually less saturated.
It's true.
Crimson is actually almost a pastel color. I did not know that. Crimson is very close to being a pastel color.
You can do red and black better. It's just it feels
Yeah.
thrown together. It's all the black is too dark. Like I said, the whole outlines being lighter than the coat color sort of is off-putting, and then the red, the quote-unquote crimson, is way too saturated. I would look at sort of what a pastel crimson would look like, and if you applied that could work really well, because I like that the color of crimson, but as it is right now, that's a bit off-putting. And there's the next the thing that one of the things that irks me is she's Rainbow Dash's sister, which I'm not gonna go get really, really aggravated at this, get too pissed off, because we've said it all before. Having relations with original characters, we've said this on the last OC, is not the best idea. I don't understand why in any it doesn't. There's no real description of what the character's like, so maybe that if there was a real a fleshed out character that at least I could readily see, because everywhere I've looked I haven't seen one, maybe that would give some explanation as to how there could be any even possible relation, but it just, the colors are so drastically different. There's a couple pictures with Rainbow Dash with Crimson, and it's jarring to be a bit honest. It doesn't fit. It doesn't really work at all. And I think that I'm not sure what there's not really much to the character other than, hey, she's related to Rainbow Dash and she's red and black, and I feel like you could do stuff with the OC. I mean, there's potential in every character to become a good character, but I feel that there's definitely been a few wrong turns, at least in my opinion. Guys want to dig into this?
I find that I don't think it's the fact that this black is too dark. No, I think it's the fact that it is black. There's no they're trying to lighten it at all. No, it's a pure black.
No, it's not.
And that it's not a pure black.
It's not a pure black.
Wow.
It is too dark, but look at the iris, or not the iris. Yeah, the pupil.
Okay, I was wrong. My apologies. I thought it was an actual pure black.
It's just too dark.
I agree,
too dark.
but I don't want him saying things that it's not.
Aesthetically, it annoys me that the main colors blend in with the base of the pony colors. It just, besides the outline.
Yes.
If you didn't have that outline, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, they're almost the exact same color. I don't know. They might be the exact same color. I can't tell, but they're really close at the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's generally a not good idea at all.
I guess at this point I'm just kind of turned off by the cutie marks having any, the crescent shape or, any existing cutie marks just twisting it. It's no, make your own damn cutie marks. You're creative.
Stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I would work on. I would try and just sort of eliminate the best you can having the relation to Rainbow Dash. I know that you have pictures. I know that it's part of what you've made for your OC, but it's just, from an outsider standpoint, it's a turnoff. Having the mane and tail, having the black basically be the coat, figure something else out. You can have. I think that you can work with these things to make the character nice, and I like the general feeling of the shape. I like at least the fact that it matches the mane and tail, but there's not too much that really that sticks out like that for what this OC has going for it.
Nice. Well then, moving on from that one, KP, tell us all about this shark pony you have.
My
Whoa,
shark
now.
pony. So, I just saw this design. I'm just the tail, I just don't like the whole idea of a shark OC anyway.
Goodness.
It's a little bit out there.
Wouldn't have liked our last 2 episodes.
Yeah, we've had 3 episodes in a row now with shark ponies.
Shark ponies. This is the first shark pony I've seen. I'm just oh, hey. Hey,
Mehdi
sup?
absolutely loves them. He's not going to like hearing this.
It's okay now. Screw 'em.
Okay. Well, you're wrong and I'm right. No.
No shit.
I didn't say an opinion.
Besides that, I would have made the color of the tail a little bit different from the OC color because it blends in nicely, but it's a little bit too similar, I think. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it either. I think the the hair color, well, it it just kind of doesn't. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice shade of green, but it just doesn't work with the rest of the coloring for the body. It's a little bit out of nowhere. It's so off, but I mean, A for effort, A for being a shark pony and being creative. I do like the flower in the hair. That's cool. And the accessories are kind of fun too. He has a sword, which I'm not sure how a shark pony would use a sword underwater, but he has a sword, or she. It's a she probably. And that's it. So, what do you guys think?
I think they'd use a sword underwater, much like however the hell ponies use swords in real life, I guess.
But
well,
it's
underwater's
even
different than above because
It's a lot slower.
it's even like
I don't know if you've tried to swing a sword underwater, but
I don't know how effective it would be, which is the question.
which, speaking of effective and things, I mean, I feel that the healing part of this OC comes in with the sort of saddlebag that has these herbs, which I'm assuming are used by healing. But one thing that I find really weird with that is it's air sealed. I don't know what experience you guys have had, but when you open something that's air sealed underwater, it's no longer air sealed. So unless if it's like an or like if it's enchanted or something like that, I could possibly see it a little bit. It's a magical universe; anything can really happen. Whatever.
That's how they smuggle ponies underwater, and how they see the sea ponies. They go in the air sac.
But I would just express that a little bit more explicitly, other than saying it's air sealed, because the little different meanings between those.
In Medi's defense, I kind of like this pony. I do kind of like how the green goes with the gray, because generally green and gray go well together, even though I don't like the color green.
You're not allowed to disagree with me. Get out.
Guess what? It's happening. Oh, shit.
Oh, I like the general aesthetics about her. She seems cute and stuff, and I wish Medi were not dead right now. Rest his soul, rest his soul, rest his soul. Poor guy. We'll hold the funeral on yesterday. Oops, we missed it.
Oops, you're dead. It's all right.
So, we're going to go through this a little bit faster, but like we always do every episode, voting, going over the good OCs that we brought to the party. We have Light Nocturne by A Nightly Pony that I brought in. Commander brought in Milk Tea by Silver Boy 27. Kim brought in Pixie Dust by Planet Pup. And Smooth brought in Trinket Bird by Rowan Falls. So, going back in the same order we presented in and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party, Smooth, who do you vote for?
I'm going to give my vote to Pixie Dust.
Cool. I'm probably going to give mine to Trinket Bird.
I also am leaning towards Trinket Bird as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Milk Tea because she's cute.
Cool. Well, congratulations to Trinket Bird and Rowan Falls for winning this week's good OC. Moving on to the bad OCs real quick. I brought in Amy Snow by Pokemaya1. Commander brought in Crimson Moon. KP brought in Breeze by Kitty Cat Is That. And then Smooth brought in Ivy League by Songbird Rhapsody. Smooth, who do you vote for least favorite pony this week?
It's almost unfair because I feel like the two that are going to get voted the most are almost along the same lines.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which of them to vote for, though, because they both fall into many of the same traps. I just don't know which of them did it more, maybe.
Which one did it less?
I don't even know how to go thinking about it, but I suppose I'll give mine to Crimson Moon.
Cool. I'm going to give mine to Crimson Moon as well.
I third that.
Yeah, now that Crimson Moon is definitely has taken this. The only one that I could even vote for is Amy Snow because I liked the other ones. So,
well, then that looks like Crimson Moon wins Bad OC this week.
You can find us at eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks on Twitter, eurocsuckspodcast@gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
And to reminder all of you out there that we do have a Patreon, so if you're looking to support the show a little bit, or if you're looking for any one of us to do a little doodle for you, you can go ahead and check that out as well. Link will be found in the description as well. I don't know why I just pointed, because this is audio-based. I don't know why I did that. But I want to thank KP for being on the show again. And before we head out, I want to know, what do you have coming up, KP? What can we expect from you in the next couple of weeks?
Content-wise, I have, well, I'll spoil it. What the fuck ever. I have spoilers, right? So I have, I'm gonna do a Ne'er-do-well review. Either, I haven't gotten to that, and my editor's like, I'm like, what do we want to do? And it's like, we haven't done Ne'er-do-well. I'm just like, alright. So that, and then I've been getting bugged about this constantly, but I'm finally doing Bride of Discord, and which is an audio play that's like super popular. And then I'm doing Flufflepuff, and then that's it till season 5, and then I'll be at BabsCon for season 5, and the review will be late, but I don't care.
Yay!
Yay!
Yes! You're gonna be at BabsCon, that means we get to hang out. Me, you, Silverquill, probably some other people as well.
By hang out, you mean buy me stuff, correct?
Done.
I'm pretty much like 99% done to be a community guest forever. Well, it's a special guest, I guess, not community guest, a step higher. And there's gonna be some fun stuff concerning that, but more details later.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's saying that if you want to keep up with all of the things that Kim Possible loves a lot, or the things that I Love Kim Possible a lot does, you should do what? Go subscribe to her. So, that being said, again, I want to say thank you, KP, for being on our show to grace us with your lovely presence. I hope to see you soon at BabsCon. It's only like, what, 26 days away?
It's going to go by fast. It's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like a month away-ish.
Yeah.
I'm just hyped for that
God,
season 5 party. That, like, is, like, because that's going to be huge! And I never watched episodes live, with more than a few people, so that big of a crowd is just gonna be like, holy shit, the best thing ever.
Nice. Well, until that day comes, I have been Mummified Thunderbirds. I've been joined by
Commander Sparkle.
Smooth sailing.
And our very lovely special guest.
I love Kim Possible a lot.
And remember, everybody, your OC sucks.